today for our change management strategy presentation for Huntington and Gallas Industries. This will be presented by Team Connor. I, Jamal Riley, will kick things off, speaking about the stakeholder map and organizational readiness. Next up will be Jessica Curran, who will talk about the adoption and diffusion strategies. Last but certainly not least will be Kevin Cruz, who will talk about the communication strategy as well as the roadmap and conclude the sustainment strategy. Displayed is the HII stakeholder map. Our change management strategy is to completely overhaul the human resources information system. One of our biggest issues was not being able to bring in quality candidates because our database has not been centralized, causing confusion for applicants trying to apply to our positions. These are the parties that will be most affected by whatever change will be implemented. With any change, resistance will be met and hiring managers will be the biggest hurdle. Overhauling the HR system means a slowdown in production, and no organization is fond of that. This will be counteracted by producing a timeline for when change will take place, giving ample time to adjust and explain why it is imperative that this change happens and incorporate their thoughts on what should be done. Lastly, make sure that there is always an open line of communication so that there is little chance of anyone claiming that they were unaware of what was going on. The best ally in this fight will be the human resources sub-departments. They will be used to help reinforce the changes that will be made and spread the message in a positive light. As with any system, there will be issues with IT, and they will be fully equipped to handle all of it. This will be a slow and methodical process in order not to rush, to avoid repeating steps in the future. Everything will be done to the best of the department's ability to get things right the first time.
Here we have our chain adoption ideas listed. Our first component will be training. So as recruiters, we will provide training to hiring managers through WebEx. We currently do this, and I found it very beneficial. We will also go through by division and present the new system and give examples of the tasks they will need to complete once in the system. Our second component is communication. Obviously, we all harp on communication when we're going through change, so making sure it's early and often will definitely benefit employees and the organization as a whole. We will also provide pre-launch meeting with each business unit, which will give them kind of one-on-one attention on what they'll need to complete once in the human resource information system. And then we will roll it out by module instead of all at once, obviously starting with payroll and benefits, since that's most important to employees. Our last component will be documentation. So we will provide a standard operating procedures document just so they are aware of the processes and can go back and look at that if they have any questions later on. We'll also provide a workflow diagram. This will make it easier for hiring managers to follow and know next steps and things of that nature when, let's say, putting in an offer or opening up a new requisition. Regarding the diffusion strategy, obviously you want to engage different groups differently. So for sponsors, we will have organizational meetings about the HRIS adoption. We will bring all entities together, and then we will also provide manager training as well. For the key stakeholders, we will show the financial benefit of this change, time saved, lead manager training, implementing an HRIS to all staff so they can go into the system and complete their tasks. And then we will be transferring all existing data into the HRIS system so we can still provide data and analytics to executives and other departments within Huntington Ingalls. Under innovators and early adopters, we will carry out all HRIS duties, and we will further training to new employees. Early and late majorities, applicants will be grouped together on one system, which will help make the processes flow and more streamlined. Application process will be known. All employees will know the application process and their specific tasks related to that. All entities will function as one. Employees will experience coordination since we will all be on the same system. Laggards' ease of work and data collection will be ultimately proved beneficial.
One of the most important parts of any change initiative is communication strategy. Here at Huntington Ingalls, we have devised a plan to prepare and deal with any risk management type of issues. The first part relates to preparation communication. Individuals from different departments should be trained by SMEs on the system. We're going to meet with them 3 times a week and walk through different processes. At the same time, stakeholder communication is equally as valuable. Leadership meetings will be broken out by each business unit to address the change in benefits. We will be presenting a PowerPoint and video on the system to describe its overall benefits and provide visuals and understanding for our change at hand. The last component is policy communications, and I think this helps by providing weekly updates on the progress and what is coming up next. It allows our employees to know where we're going and what we've done so far. In addition, we'd like to release stories about success factors and other companies that have had similar successes to prove that what we're doing is important and valuable. This next component is extremely important for the overall change initiative because it's essentially creating a timeline for everything that needs to get done. 6 months prior to our launch, we'd like our recruiting, benefits, and HR department to all essentially have a kickoff meeting and create awareness about the change at hand. At 4 months, we'd like to build knowledge and manage expectations of all the changes that are going to occur. 2 months prior to the launch, we would like to meet with the SFSME twice a week to go over any things that need to get done the next 2 months prior to our kickoff. In T-minus 1 month is where we're going to begin to include all departments, recruiting, benefits, HR, IT, as well as our hiring managers. And it's here where we're going to begin to build knowledge, manage expectations, and continue with those meetings and team testings. 2 weeks prior, we're going to begin team training on all processes pretty much through all departments. Our IT is going to make sure the system data has already been transferred and ready to go live. It's important for our hiring managers at this time to now enable and motivate the users, so that come launch day, we're all ready to go. Launch day is obviously going to be huge. Recruiting is going to start training for HM, the benefits, HR, and IT. We're going to begin switching over these modules, overview the hiring processes, and more importantly, the IT department is going to make sure that all systems is working and everything has been implemented correctly. This is when our hiring managers are going to begin training, and this is extremely important for the future of Huntington Ingalls because our hiring managers are essentially setting the tone on day 1. 2 weeks after, essentially all departments are really going to continue to ensure that things are moving smoothly and working as they should. Our benefits department should be recapping the initial transfer and begin to implement more of the benefit packages moving forward. Our IT is going to make sure that the system is still up and running smoothly, that there are no errors, and if any tweaks need to be made, they will go ahead and do so. About 1 month out now is going to be an important time for us as we begin to tweak any changes necessary, ensure that all benefits are transferred to the new HRIS system. Our HR and hiring managers are continuing to monitor the hiring process, how effective this process is, and then we need to make sure that all new hires are set and ready to begin work. At 3 months is where we're going to have the full evaluation of the entire HRIS implementation. It's at this point where we're going to begin to fine-tune little tweaks here and there, things that may have fallen through the cracks, things that we can improve on, and things that we can get better. So, this is essentially a 9-month roadmap where leading up to launch day is going to involve a lot of preparation, a lot of meetings and just getting on the same page with one another. Whereas on launch day, we're going to, fully launch the new HRIS system and then fully reevaluate after 3 months to see where we're at. moving forward with our change initiative, I think sustainment is one of the most important parts with any change because it allows the change to continue moving forward. So it's at this point that our 4 different departments here, HR, IT, recruiting, and hiring managers, really need to ensure that they each handle their responsibilities and allow this change initiative to be successful moving forward. So HR at this point, following the launch, is going to continue to make sure the system stays compliant. One of the more important things will be the metrics on headcount and turnover, as we've struggled with this as a company in the past. So keeping a tab on that will ultimately prove how valuable this new HRIS system is and how positive it's been for the organization as a whole. Recruiters will, keep candidate profiles updated in the system. The leads will pull from metrics, and at the same time, we're going to make sure we're following the correct processes and we're compliant with that. IT is going to be extremely valuable at this point because of their role with dealing with our HRIS system. We need to make sure that everything is fine-tuned correctly. Maintenance will be done once a month, fix any bugs in the coding configuration, and just apply, maintenance upgrades where need be. Once every 3 months, the system security access will be reviewed and fine-tuned by IT to make sure things are continuing to run smoothly. Hiring managers, they're going to input job offers once they've selected a candidate that they feel is qualified for the job. The hiring managers are going to provide, immediate feedback for each candidate that they've interviewed and would feel that would be a good fit for Huntington Ingalls. And then ultimately they would just make sure that the offer goes through to the correct approval process so that all departments could see any new hires through the HRIS system.